محمد وآل محمد صلوات اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد. زینب کا تجھ سے وعدہ ہے بھائی، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. زینب کا تجھ سے وعدہ ہے بھائی، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. بے وارثی ہو یا بے ردائے، بے وارثی ہو یا بے ردائے، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. زینب کا تجھ سے وعدہ ہے بھائی، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. پیغام تیرا مٹنے نہ دوں گی، پیاسی رہوں گی پیدل چلوں گی، پیاسی رہوں گی پیدل چلوں گی. مظلومیت کی بن کر گواہی، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. زینب کا تجھ سے وعدہ ہے بھائی، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. پرچم اٹھا کر غازی کو اپنے پورے کروں گی، میں تیرے وعدے پورے کروں گی، میں تیرے وعدے. بابا کریں گے مشکل کشائی، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. زینب کا تجھ سے وعدہ ہے بھائی، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. اوڑھوں گی سر پر اس وقت چادر، لے لوں گی بدلہ جب اے برادر، لے لوں گی بدلہ جب اے برادر. کہتی ہے تجھ سے زہرا کی جائے، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. زینب کا تجھ سے وعدہ ہے بھائی، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. بیٹوں کا ماتم اس دن کروں گی، چہلم تمہارا جب کر چکوں گی، چہلم تمہارا جب کر چکوں گی. میں نے یہی ہے منت اٹھائی، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. زینب کا تجھ سے وعدہ ہے بھائی، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. چادر کے بدلے سر لوں گی اس کا، مجلس کی خاطر گر لوں گی اس کا، مجلس کی خاطر گر لوں گی اس کا. نسل یزیدی دے گی دہائی، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. زینب کا تجھ سے وعدہ ہے بھائی، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. ہر گھر میں ہوگا اب تیرا ماتم، ہر روز ہوگا مثل محرم، ہر روز ہوگا مثل محرم. دیکھے گی اب تو ساری خدائی، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. زینب کا تجھ سے وعدہ ہے بھائی، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. تابوت تیرا غازی کا پرچم اٹھتے رہیں گے دنیا میں ہر دم، اٹھتے رہیں گے دنیا میں ہر دم. میں نے قسم ہے زہرا کی کھائی، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. زینب کا تجھ سے وعدہ ہے بھائی، دنیا میں تیرا ماتم رہے گا. رب کی رضا ہے ریحان نوحہ، نو قید موسم نو خوف دنیا، نو قید موسم نو خوف دنیا. یہ نوکری हाथ से पाए दुनिया में तेरा मातम रहेगा ज़ैनब का तुझसे वादा है बाए दुनिया में तेरा मातम रहेगा बेवारिसी हो या बेरिदाई बेवारिसी हो या बेरिदाई दुनिया में तेरा मातम रहेगा ज़ैनब का तुझसे वादा है बाए दुनिया में तेरा मातम रहेगा ज़ैनब का तुझसे वादा है बाए दुनिया में तेरा मातम रहेगा मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद वाजिल फरजहु
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We're here at the end of our series, and we've had some amazing conversations and been able to learn quite a few things from my dear friends. And I'm so excited to have here one of my closest friends, and we're going to talk about a very, very important topic that's close to my heart. So, what better combination to have? Brother Muhammad Datoo, thank you so much for joining us. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Thank you for having me, Imran.
And our dear friends here, we have Fatima, we have Muhammad, we have Ali Hussein, we have Zainab. They've learnt a lot so far, and I'm sure they'll learn even more today. And as is customary now, as we all know, we all want to start off by knowing your thoughts on who a Husseini should be.
Ahsant. It's a big term and it's a big responsibility to be a Husseini. It's also the biggest honor to have. And in my opinion, being a Husseini is someone who will always be with the truth. And that goes for all the Ai we see that they were always with the truth. That means that you will always speak the truth. And if someone accuses other than that, you will always stand up and say what the truth is. And also, if someone else is being accused, you will stand up for that person's right and that person's haqq, because to stand for the truth is what Imam Hussein would have done.
That's very, very important, because as we know that to stand up for the truth, it can be very, very hard, because we know Imam Hussein could have easily sided with what was very easy for him to do. Save his life, just give his allegiance to Yazid, himself and his family would have been saved, and they would have probably lived luxuriously, because Yazid, knowing that, he would have probably thrown a lot of money. But it's the truth that he stood up for, and it's the truth that we must all stand up for, however hard it is, because that's what we learn from Imam Hussein. Thank you so much. That's really, really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Now, today's topic is a big one, because we're talking about my 12th, my superpower. And so far, we've been talking about different aspects of our potential that we can use and for the greater good, and different powers that we have. But ultimately, I feel all of this should be combined and brought together to work towards a common goal, and that is for our 12th Imam, our superpower. So, firstly, why do you feel we should be working so hard for our 12th Imam?
Ahsan. I think firstly the topic is amazing. What a lovely way to put it. He is really our superhero, and he is the one who will come and save us, inshallah, very soon.
Inshallah.
Of course, it's very important to remember, because this Imam is special to us more than any other Imam, because he is our Imam. And we must remember that he is there for us. So we need to make sure everything we do, we think about him when we're doing that act.
Yeah, that's true. And this morning I was listening to lecture. Actually, I shared it with you as well. And the sheikh in that lecture was saying that you should have daily conversations with our Imam. And the reason why is because our Imam is living and he's amongst us. And it's very easy to forget that just because we can't see him or he's hidden. But the fact that we have these daily conversations with him will do two things. One is obviously create that relationship with our Imam and have that sense of familiarity with him, but also it will keep us grounded and keep us on the straight path, because we know at the back of our mind that our 12th Imam is watching. Just like how, believe it or not, and whether we like it or not, we act or we try and become better when we know people are looking at us.
That's right.
So if we know in the back of our mind that our 12th Imam is constantly looking at us, then we'll constantly aim to become better, right?
Yeah, yeah. You know, like it's sometimes different because we can't see the Imam. But just like in Salah, how Rasulullah told his beloved companion Abu Dhar, he said, "Oh Abu Dhar, pray to Allah as if you can see Him.
Yeah.
And if you can't see Him, then know that He sees you." And the same way, every action you do, just think, if your parents were standing next to you, would you do that action? Then remember that Imam is watching all the time.
True.
And I think you're right, you know, the more we think about it, the more we need to remember him. Because all of the relationships that we've formed is because, and the love that we've formed between them, our parents, our siblings, our friends, is because we spent time with them. And the same way, we need to spend time with our Imam to make that love relationship that we should have.
SubhanAllah, SubhanAllah. And when you actually break it down and think about it this way, yes, our Imam is an amazing person, he's our superhero. But then a lot of times we feel this superhero is hard to get to. But just imagine now we are able to create that relationship with him by speaking to him on a daily basis and sharing that time with him. And now when we get to that close relationship with him, with an amazing person like him, how amazing is that, right?
Yeah.
So a simple example, and we always give this in the annex, is like a lot of us like football, or we have our best players, for example, Ronaldo, Messi, or whoever it may be. And all of a sudden we get an opportunity to go and see a match live. We've never seen him live, all we've seen him is on TV. How excited are we? We have that ticket, we'll make sure we keep that ticket, and then we go on time. We want to try and get a glimpse of him, a sight of him before the match,
Correct.
just to see how he's warming up and like how he is in real life. And then we get we've watched a few matches of his, and then we get used to that. Now we get an opportunity to go and meet him. How exciting is that?
Yeah.
But truth be told, Cristiano Ronaldo and Imam.
Where's the
Where are
difference,
they?
right? So true. And I love that you didn't use any Liverpool players' names because we know none of them are superstars.
I was actually thinking of that.
But that's so true, you know. And I think one thing which we have to remember, no matter what age you are, you have to remember that you have to prepare for the Imam as if you will see him in your lifetime. And when you do it like that, then you'll feel as if that moment where you know that door will open and Ronaldo will walk out very soon. That's the same intention we should have with the Imam. And inshallah, if we're not in this world when Imam comes, but we thought like that, then Allah will definitely allow us to be raised again so that we can be next to him.
Inshallah, inshallah. Now, so we've identified that Imam is our superhero, and we know that he is unseen, and we know that it's important to create that relationship. How can we create that relationship with him despite us not being able to see him?
I think often we forget that Imam is there. And that's natural because we don't see him, we don't get to speak to him, but we need to form certain habits in our life that make us remember him. So for example, and we spoke about this last time as well, to say Assalamu alayka ya sahib zaman every morning. Whenever we do that, straight away we will remember him as soon as we wake up. What better person to remember than the Imam when we wake up? And we know when we go to the different haramain and in Karbala or anywhere, we recite the idhan dukhul, the permission to enter. And in that idhan dukhul we say, يَرَوْنَ مَقَامِ وَيَسْمَعُونَ كَلَامِ وَيُرُدُّونَ السَّلَامِ. That you do reply our salam. We don't hear it, but you do reply it. So remembering him through the day, in our kunut, asking Allah in our salah to hasten his repentance, to make his repentance come back quickly. And also to remember to recite certain dua like Allahumma kulli waliyika that we always recite so that we can ask Allah to bring back the 12th Imam quickly.
I mean, and that's a very beautiful dua if we think about it.
Definitely.
And I ask all of you to actually look at, it's very easy, the dua. We recite it and we know it, we memorize it. But try and look at the meaning. It's such a beautiful meaning to that dua. And trust me, I read it this morning, the meaning, and I went through it. And it just changed my whole outlook. And I recited the dua during salah today, and it just changed my whole outlook. So please try, and you just search for it on duas.org or online, and you'll find it. And just try and ponder. 5 minutes, just look through the meaning, ponder, and try and create that relationship with the Imam. Thank you so much for sharing that. Another practical tip that I thought of, and I've heard about, is that a friend of mine, he actually has a empty picture frame, and it's a bit weird because normally a picture frame you'd think that you'd put your family picture or maybe your favorite friend if you have that close a relationship with your friend. But he said this is a empty picture and he's posting on his bedroom door. So each time he goes in and out, he's looking at that picture, at that picture frame. And then I asked him, what is it for? And he said that this picture frame is for my Imam. When he reappears, I'm going to take a picture of him and put it on that picture frame.
SubhanAllah.
So it's constantly reminding him of the Imam.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, and I know one of my friends who, when he sets the table for dinner, if there's 5 of them eating, their family, he'll set an extra plate, a 6th plate. And we asked him why. He said, because I want to prepare for the Imam and I want to remember the Imam. And inshallah, when the Imam comes, he will come and he'll sit with us.
SubhanAllah, that's really beautiful. Another practical example that I have is a few years ago, you remember in madrasa, they were giving us these orange bands.
Yes, yes.
And on those orange bands, it was written, what would Imam do? And that is very, very profound and deep because if you remember from the previous conversation with my friend Abbas Ali, we were talking about having friends that will constantly remind us of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and help us get closer. Now this band is always there on us. It's orange, so you can't miss it. And it's written in big, what would Imam do? So every single thing that we want to do, we need to look at the band and remind ourselves that. What would Imam do? It's similar to what we had spoken about in the first Ashra, the 3-filter rule. Thinking about what we're going to say before we actually say it. Whether what we're going to say is truthful, whether it's good, whether it's beneficial. So the same way, this band would help us think about what we're doing. Whether what we're doing is good, and whether Imam would do it or not. Any other practical tips that you can share with us?
I think just to remember to do these ones, sometimes we forget.
True.
And just to have conversations with our Imam. So when we're going to school, when we're going to work, wherever we're going, I remember my teacher had told me this. And whenever I knew I was going to have a difficult day in school, or there was an exam coming or something, on the way to school I would talk to Imam. And I would talk to Allah, I would talk to Imam and say, Imam, I really need your help today. And I swear to you, Imran, every day that I did that, the day would just go past. I wouldn't even realize the difficulties. Because he's there to help us. And it would hurt him that we are his followers, but we never call upon him. So let's remember him in our times of need.
Very true. That's really, really deep. And it's amazing to see that it actually does work.
Oh, 100%.
Believe it or not, it actually does work. Although we may not be able to see him, but if we have that relationship with him, then he's here to help us. He's our Imam.
That's right.
He's our superhero, our superpower, right? And it's all about having these small things in our life that will help us remember. Because life can get busy, that's natural. It's all about trying to help get those small things in our life to help us, like the band. Another interesting thing I have at home personally, and I do it with my young daughter. When we're coming down the stairs, we have a big banner there saying Labbaik Ya Mahdi. And together, the first thing we do as we're coming down the stairs once we've woken up is Labbaik Ya Mahdi together.
How beautiful.
So it just helps you start your day together. I hope this has been helpful, and inshallah you can pick up on one or two, or if you have any other ideas, then feel free to use that. But the importance of having that relationship with our Imam every single day. Don't just wait for 15 Sha'ban to write the Ariza. You have to have this relationship with him every single day. He is our superpower, remember that. And if we have that close relationship with him, we will go very, very far in life, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Let us take our hearts to Karbala. And it's a very, very hard this time because normally we're together in Arbaeen,
That's right.
on
In
Arbaeen
Karbala.
Eve in Karbala. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. But inshallah we can do our azadari from here. Inshallah we can go to Karbala very, very soon.
Ilahi ameen.
Let us take our hearts. It is the eve of Arbaeen, marking 40 nights since the martyrdom of Imam Hussein alayhi salam and his companions. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that with this final commemoration He accepts our aza, and that we can get the opportunity to commemorate this again next year inshallah in the haram of Imam.
Ilahi ameen.
After much pressure, Yazid released the family of the Imam and said, "You are free to live in Sham or go back to Medina." Bibi Zainab alayha salam said, "I will not leave Sham till I cry for Hussein. I will complete what I have come for." She asked for a house to be set up. This is the defeat of Yazid, that he killed Hussein, but he himself set up a house for the majalis of Hussein alayhi salam. A house was set up. The women of Sham came to console Bibi Zainab alayha salam. Bibi Zainab welcomed them in, just as her mother, Bibi Fatima, welcomes us in when we gather to mourn for Imam Hussein. Marwan came to Yazid and said, "O Yazid, Zainab is telling them everything you have done. You will lose your power if you leave them in Sham." Yazid called Imam Zainul Abidin and said, "O son of Hussein, you must leave Sham now and take your family back to Medina. I will arrange for a caravan to take you back." As they were leaving Sham, Rubab expressed her wish to Zainab that before leaving Damascus they must visit the prison and offer their last Fatiha at the grave of young Sakina. Bibi Zainab alayha salam immediately agrees, and the caravan makes its way towards the prison house. The Imam and all the ladies go over to the grave of Sakina. Rabab, the grieving mother, falls on the little grave and shouts out, "Sakina, my little Sakina. You always wanted to return to Medina. You used to look at the birds flying home and ask when you would go home. Oh Sakina, we all are free at last to go home. But it is for you to remain forever within these four walls of this dungeon. My dearest child, I am leaving you alone in this strange country, where you had experienced nothing but hardships and tortures. My child, I am leaving you, but my heart and soul will remain with you in this prison." The caravan moves out of Sham. When they reach Iraq, they ask the road guide to take the road leading to Karbala so as to do ziyarah of their loved ones. Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari, who was a companion of the Holy Prophet and who was now blind with his guide Atiyah, had arrived in Karbala to do the first ziyarat of Imam Hussein and the martyrs. Jabir begins to go around the grave of Imam Hussein and says, "Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah wa ala al-arwah allati hallat bifinaik." Atiyah says to Jabir, "O Jabir, there is a cloud of dust coming from afar, showing that a group of people are coming." He says, "Maybe they have been sent by Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad." Jabir tells him to go and find out, and is told that it is the caravan of Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam. Jabir meets Imam Sajjad, and weeping and grieving, he says, "Assalamu alayka ya ibn Rasulillah. Peace be upon you, O grandson of Rasulullah." After how long Imam finds someone to do salam to him. He was taken to Kufa and Sham. There was no one to do salam to him. Imam alayhi salam begins to cry and takes Jabir around Karbala and shows him. Oh Jabir, this is the place where they killed my brother Aliyun al-Akbar, the one that resembled the Prophet. Oh Jabir, this is the place where they severed the arms of my uncle Abbas. And this is where the water bag was pierced, dashing the hopes of the children. This is where Abbas fell from his horse with no arms to save him as he fell. Oh Jabir, this is the place where they pierced the throat of my baby brother Aliyun al-Asghar with a 3-pronged arrow. Oh Jabir, this is where my father came off his horse. This was the place of his last sajda. Oh Jabir, this was the place where Shimr sat on his chest and beheaded him. Oh Jabir, this is where our women had their hijab taken and their tent set on fire. Oh Jabir, this is the place where we were taken as prisoners. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. On this eve of Arbaeen, let's take our hearts to Karbala, see that beautiful golden dome of Imam Hussein alayhi salam in front of his haram. And let's all recite together. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك عليك مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. Ya Allah, let this not be the last time we send our salutations to Abu Abdullah. Let's all recite together. Assalamu ala al-Husayn wa ala Ali ibn al-Husayn wa ala awlad al-Husayn wa ala ashab al-Husayn جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته.
आई हूँ करबला चहलुम तेरा मनाने आई हूँ करबला
चहलुम तेरा मनाने आई हूँ करबला चहलुम तेरा मनाने आई हूँ करबला
उदाद गम सुनाने उदाद गम सुनाने आई हूँ करबला
चहलुम तेरा मनाने आई हूँ करबला चहलुम तेरा मनाने आई हूँ करबला
हर जख्म ताजियान का जंजीरों के निशान हर जख्म ताजियान का जंजीरों के निशान भैया तुझे दिखाने
भैया तुझे दिखाने
आई हूँ करबला
चहलुम तेरा मनाने आई हूँ करबला चहलुम तेरा मनाने آئی ہوں کربلا.
بازار سے زندان سے دربار سے ہو کر، بازار سے زندان سے دربار سے ہو کر، پل چین کے بتانے،
پل چین کے بتانے،
آئی ہوں کربلا.
چہلم تیرا منانے، آئی ہوں کربلا. چہلم تیرا منانے، آئی ہوں کربلا.
زندان میں سکینہ کے حالات بتا کر، زندان میں سکینہ کے حالات بتا کر، تجھ کو بھی اب بلانے،
تجھ کو بھی اب رلانے،
آئی ہوں کربلا.
چہلم تیرا منانے، آئی ہوں کربلا. چہلم تیرا منانے، آئی ہوں کربلا.
وہ پائی نام آپ کے لاش پہ اے حسین، وہ پائی نام آپ کے لاش پہ اے حسین، اب حال دل سنانے،
اب حال دل سنانے،
آئی ہوں کربلا.
چہلم تیرا منانے، آئی ہوں کربلا. چہلم تیرا منانے، آئی ہوں کربلا.
لوگوں نہ بھولنا کبھی قبر حسین کو، لوگوں نہ بھولنا کبھی قبر حسین کو، دنیا کو یہ بتانے،
دنیا کو یہ بتانے،
آئی ہوں کربلا.
چہلم تیرا منانے، آئی ہوں کربلا. چہلم تیرا منانے، آئی ہوں کربلا.
کل جن کا کربلا میں نام غم منا سکی، کل جن کا کربلا میں نام غم منا سکی، فرش عذاب بچھانے،
فرش عزا بچھانے،
آئی ہوں کربلا.
چہلم تیرا منانے، آئی ہوں کربلا. چہلم تیرا منانے، آئی ہوں کربلا.
آئی ہوں کرنے تربت پہ مجلس پاپا تیری، آئی ہوں کرنے تربت پہ مجلس پاپا تیری، نوحہ تیرا سنانے،
نوحہ تیرا سنانے،
آئی ہوں کربلا.
چہلم تیرا منانے، آئی ہوں کربلا. چہلم تیرا منانے، آئی ہوں کربلا.
کہتی تھی زید و حیدر یہ زہرا کی لادلی، کہتی تھی زید و حیدر یہ زہرا کی لادلی، غم بائی کا منانے،
غم بائی کا منانے،
آئی ہوں کربلا.
چہلم تیرا منانے، آئی ہوں کربلا. چہلم تیرا منانے آئی ہوں کربلا چہلم تیرا منانے آئی ہوں کربلا
یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین
یا حسین یا حسین
صلوات علی محمد وآل محمد
اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد